Hello students, in this lesson let us study about the cant deficiency and negative cant. So we will see what exactly is cant deficiency, how much of standard values of cant deficiencies can be given, and what is negative cant, where exactly we will get the negative cant. All those things we will be studying in this particular lesson. So to get started with, first of all, let us try to understand the definition of cant deficiency. Cant is nothing but what? Super elevation. At certain places, there is a deficiency in the super elevation. Deficiency is nothing but what? A defect. Defect, or what you can say, a difference. So difference is the best word to tell, right? There's a difference. Actually what we have to provide and what is exactly there is a difference in that. So that is called is your cant deficiency. So if you want to write the exact definition, the difference between the equilibrium cant or equilibrium super elevation, which is necessity for what? For maximum permissible speed on the curve track. So which is necessary for the maximum permissible speed on a curved track and actual cant provided. This is known as your cant deficiency. Normally, how will you find your equilibrium cant? So what is the procedure of finding your equilibrium cant? You have already studied about that, right? So your SE formula is different for broad gauge. How much is it? 1.315 V square by R if it is broad gauge, and this same thing will be equal to 0.8 V square by R if it is your meter gauge, and this is equal to 0.6 V square by R if it is narrow gauge. We have already studied about this. So this is nothing but your equilibrium cant or equilibrium super elevation. So this all units will be in centimeters. Now this is based on what? The maximum permissible speed which we can provide on the curved track. But actual what cant we provide is different when compared to your equilibrium cant. So the difference between them is called as your cant deficiency. The difference between them is called as cant deficiency. Or what you can write is theoretical cant is equal to actual cant plus cant deficiency. So when you calculated with the help of this formula, this is the theoretical cant. But actually we have provided on track something. So there is a difference in this. There is a difference in this. This is called as your cant deficiency. Hope this particular thing is clear to you, right? We have to make sure that this cant deficiency is as low as possible. We have to make sure that this is as low as possible, because if it is high, it has many disadvantages. If your cant deficiency is high, it has many what? Disadvantages. Out of them, the major one being, so the first one is, if higher cant deficiency is there, it will result in extra pressure and lateral thrust. Extra pressure and lateral thrust on your outer rail, especially on your what? Outer rail. Now what will happen because of this? This will require strong track and more fastenings to make it what? Suitable. So that is one disadvantage. Then the second disadvantage is it will result in side wear. So if there is cant deficiency, it will result in side wear as well as creep of the outer rail, especially the outer rail, because all these are on curved tracks, right? Then the third one being discomfort to the passenger. So if there is a huge cant deficiency, there will be automatically discomfort to the passengers who are traveling in that particular train or on that particular track. So these are the disadvantages. Now coming to allowable CAN deficiency. So what are we telling? It should be as low as possible, right? So there is some standard allowable value. More than this you cannot go. So for broad gauges you have two groups. AB will come under one group and CDE will come under another group. So for both of them the normal CAN deficiency what we can provide is 75 mm, or if you want to write it in centimeters, 7.6 in centimeters, right? Now this is for speed up to 100 kmph. So these values are for speed up to 100 kmph. If you want to go higher or greater than 100 kmph, so this will be how much? 10 centimeters, right? Similarly for meter gauge, if you want to write it in mm, it is 50, or you can take 5.1 centimeter, and for narrow gauge it is 40 or 3.8 centimeter. This is for what? Up to the speed of 1000 kmph. If it 100 kmph, if it is going greater than, this is not specified. Okay, so this is not specified and this is also not specified. So these are certain standard allowable CAN deficiency. So in problem what will happen? Sometimes if CAN deficiency is not given, based on the gauge you will have to select the CAN deficiency value. These are standard for Indian railways. These are standard and they will not vary. Okay, so you can tell it as prescribed CAN deficiency. So this is all about your CAN deficiency. Now let us get into the next topic, that is the negative CAN. So what is this negative CAN? First of all, let us try to understand what is negative CAN. Okay, so I will show you with the help of a small diagram. Say, if there are two tracks, so this is your main track. Okay, this is your main track, and at certain place there is a branch which is going out of this. So this I will call it as branch track. Okay, let me take this point as A and this point as B. So there will be crossing here, right? So there will be crossing of rails at these particular places, right? Now these both are outer rails, whereas this is the inner rail, and this is what your inner rail. So normally on curves, what will happen? Suppose you consider the main line. Suppose you consider the main line. In main line, what will happen? Your point B should be higher than point A, right? So the outer rail should be higher than the inner rail in case of curved track, correct? So outer rail higher than inner rail. Whereas when you go to the branch, what happens here? Here what will happen? Which is the outer rail? A is the outer rail. So here A should be higher than B. That's what, right? So this is the outer rail. This has to be higher than B. Now if you observe, here B should be higher, whereas here A should be higher, right? So at this junction, what will happen? At this junction, there will be a problem, right? There will be a problem. So already main track is there, B is on a higher level, but for your branch track, you need A higher, but B is higher. So there is a negative CAN for that particular point. For this particular point, there is a negative CAN. Actually, we need something, but it is lesser than that. That's the reason we take it under the category of negative CAN. Okay. So hope this concept is clear. Now let me write the definition for you. So this is general understanding. Now let us write the definition. So what does it say? The elevation of outer rail below the inner rail of a turnout is nothing but branch track. Okay, so branch track at the place where it meets the main track. So this elevation is called as your negative super elevation or negative cant. So what we have to do is, to prevent your derailment, speed on both the track must be restricted. Okay, so particularly on the turnout of the branch track, which is constructed at curved portion of the main railway track, there you should be very careful and the speed should be maintained. Right? Normally, how will we find the speeds of your main branch and or main track and the branch track is, first you will find the equilibrium cant on the main line, and then the permissible cant deficiency is deducted from this equilibrium cant. Okay, when you deduct that, you get the negative super elevation of the branch track. This negative super elevation will be equal to what? The maximum cant that you can provide on the main line. Then from that you will find the permissible cant deficiency. You will add to that and you get the maximum cant that is permitted on the main line. So this is the procedure what you follow if you want to find the speed restrictions on the main and the branch track. Anyways, we will see problems related to this in the coming classes. So hope the concept of cant deficiency and the negative cant is clear to you now. Right. Thank you.